All right. So at Texas Tech, if you're a fan of the Red Raiders, it's fun to watch the offense, but you got to spend most of your time analyzing the defense and trying to come up with some fixes. So we bring in Hunter Cook from Viva the Matador on the SB Nation platform for the Red Raiders to help us sort out this Texas Tech defense. And Hunter, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you here. So let's start with the defensive front because that's where it all starts. You lose Pete Robertson. He had a pretty monster year in 2015 with 13 and a half tackles for loss and 5 sacks. So you obviously miss him. What you got coming back?
Well, we're going to have a pretty good interior. We have a 5-star transfer from Michigan named Andre Pipkins, who might be helping out the inside. Lonzel Gilmore doesn't look half bad. We'll have Braden Fehoko, who is a composite 4-star, I think, and had a very good true freshman year. He's coming back as a sophomore. So that interior might be pretty good depending on how Pipkins and Gilmore end up working out. At the defensive end, we'll have Gary Moore. If I remember this correctly, Gary Moore converted from a wide receiver to a defensive end. I'm not sure if I remember that correctly, and it's definitely like you sit there and like, that's different. That's definitely different. But no, he can get to the passer when it's all said and done. Zach Barnes will probably be at our stand-up rush end, replacing Pete Robertson, and Zach's played well in spots in the past. I wish I could give more of like an accurate preview, but with so many, we're so very young, and with so many new faces flipping in, and the ones returning are even young. We could be good, we could be god awful. There's so many things that could happen, and none of them are truly fun.
Well, Hunter, you started out with Fehoko. He's coming into a sophomore season, had a very nice freshman season, 4 tackles for loss there. So he looks like he could be a player. You mentioned Houston Miller before we came on, who is highly thought of. What does this defensive front need to do? What would you like to see in terms of production that you haven't seen in recent years? Are they getting pushed off the ball? Are they not quick enough? I would expect that the speed is there, but they're getting pushed off the ball.
From what I've seen in the run game, our linebackers aren't giving them a whole lot of help in terms of gap filling, in terms of speed and quickness to the ball. Like the line's holding their gaps fairly well. What I want this defensive line to do, what I think they need to do to be better or great next year, they need to rush the passer well. We did not get very many sacks at all last year, and when we didn't bring blitzers, it was almost like the quarterbacks, they didn't even need a pocket. They had, the Great Wall of China sitting up there defending them. We can't expect to win games if we can't get pressure consistently with 4 defensive linemen. Especially in the Big 12, we have to be able to rush the passer well, and that's not something that we've gotten over the past couple of years, with the exception of Pete Robertson, who's gotten after the quarterback fairly well.
Yeah, it's almost a mentality in the Big 12, unlike any other conference, that you can't be paranoid about giving up maybe 30, 35 points a game. That would be a good defensive effort. So you guys have been in, 42.6 last year. That ranked 125th in FBS football at 128 teams. You get that down a touchdown to 10 points, even though that doesn't look spectacular, because of the offense that you play in the league that you play in, that would make a huge difference. I also think you're probably not turning the ball over enough from a defensive side of the ball, and that's huge because there's 14 or 15 possessions a game. If you can just get those 1 to 2 more turnovers, that completely changes the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we got, I think we had 1.9 turnovers per game this year, which it's not the worst, but it's also definitely not the best. Our best defensive efforts came when we've gotten to other teams turn the ball over a lot. I believe we held that really good running back from Arkansas under 100 yards total on the ground, and we held Arkansas. It was a pretty solid run team, and run defense is our biggest woe. I believe we held them to a relatively respectable amount of yardage. Won the game, got the points. I mean, we're talking about a Texas Tech team that scored 50 points and lost twice. scored 53 points and lost by 17. I mean, we gave up 40 to 50 points to Oklahoma State in just the second half. We just got to be, like you said, 10 points better wins us a lot of those games. And a couple more turnovers could go a long way for that.
All right, Nick McCann, Joe Wallace, a couple other defensive tackles who ranked number 55 and number 91, according to ESPN. Wallace out of Dallas in the latest 2016 recruiting class. All right, Hunter Cook from Viva the Matadors helping us out on that Texas Tech defensive front. Thanks a lot, Hunter.
Anytime, Mark. Happy to be on.